Shalom. I am back yet again ranking one of my other favourite shows, Barry. Now this video might be a little bit shorter. Barry's only got 4 seasons to it, but I'm sure I'll have plenty to talk about these 4 seasons. The show pretty much revolves around Barry, who's played by Bill Hader, one of my favourite actors slash comedians. And he's a hitman who gets kind of tied into the theatre acting business, and he decides he wants to try and become an actor rather than a hitman, but then he gets into some trouble, blah blah blah, whatever. Let's go. In my number 4 spot, we have Barry Season 3. Spoiler warning, by the way, in case you haven't seen Barry or you're planning on watching it, there will be spoilers in this. There is nothing wrong with any of these seasons, okay? Season 3 is at the bottom because I preferred it less to all of the other seasons. It's still a great season. I would still rewatch it 100 times. Throughout the season, Barry does become more of a kind of mean and moody character. So you've got season 1 where he's normal, you know, he's kind of happy-go-lucky, whatever, doing his job. And then by the end of season 4, he's just always moody and he's never really happy. But the reason season 3 is in my number 4 spot and not season 4 is because season 4 is an incredible finale, which I'll touch more on later. But there's nothing bad to say, really, about Season 3. But while watching Season 3, I felt like it was kind of just a repeat of Season 2. Which I can understand, a lot of shows do this. I've spoke about it before with Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, that sort of thing. Ash vs. Evil Dead. The kind of middle season of the series is always kind of the same as the one before it, because they're just trying to stretch out the show. Which I can completely understand, and they have done it very well in Barry, but I just thought because it was similar, or kind of same story, I guess you could say, to the season before it, I didn't think it was as deserving as above the other ones, which are all kind of unique, and I did think Season 2, because we saw it before Season 3, was its kind of original season. Hopefully that all made sense. Now moving on to my number 3 spot, we have Season 2. Season 2 is in my number 3 spot because I really enjoyed the season. Of course, one of my favourite episodes actually in here, Ronnie / Lily, which is a very kind of confusing episode. It's like this guy who's like some sort of karate master, and then his daughter who is like some sort of otherworldly being or something like that. Fuchs, my favourite character in the show, by the way, Fuchs, he said it perfectly.
Okay, she's not human.
That's what I said, man.
She's something else. I don't
That's
know
what
what.
I told you, dude.
And another reason this is in my number 3 spot is because, for me, this is kind of where, I know we're only in Season 2, but this is where Fuchs and Barry kind of started to drift from each other, which I was quite sad about because Fuchs is my favourite character in the show. Obviously, him and Barry were really close in Season 1, so when you see them start to drift off from each other and kind of separate, it's quite sad. But it's also where Barry started to get more into the acting rather than the hitman stuff, which it's still split. It's like pretty much 50% hitman, 50% acting, but I did like the kind of acting aspect of the show. So when we started to get more into it, it did get more and more enjoyable as the series went on. And for those reasons, Season 2, number 3 spot, let's get into the top 2. My number 2 spot, we have Barry Season 4. I mean, this is just the cherry on top of a cake at this point. The Season 4, the finale, the last couple episodes, or the last season, I'll say, incredible. The only slight complaint I have with this is the ending of the series, of the season. I would have only wished Barry had more of a dramatic ending. I already gave a spoiler warning, I'll give another one here in case you somehow missed it. But the end for Barry, he went to Mr. Cousineau's house, he had the conversation with this guy, and he was like, you know what, just call the cops, I'm going to turn myself in. Show is going to end, bang, you hear a gunshot. You initially think Mr. Cousineau has killed himself. When that's not the case, it turns out he shot Barry, and then Barry says,
Oh, wow.
and then he dies. So that's my only, it's not really a complaint because it was a funny end, and I think it was a good end for a show like this. But do I wish he had more of a dramatic exit? Yes. But that doesn't knock the fact that the rest of the season before it was absolutely incredible. The acting, there was a bit of comedy in there. Obviously, this is where things are just fucking insane at this point. It's all mental. And I thought Season 4 was a great season, but now, my number 1 spot. Season 1. The OG, the original, where it all began, Barry Season 1. Season 1, Episode 1, the first ever time I heard the song that I play in my outros, the one that you heard in the intro. As soon as I heard that song for the first time and saw the name Barry come up on screen, I knew I was in for an absolutely incredible journey. This is by far my favourite season, and I like the fact how it didn't take long for Barry to try and distance himself from the hitman work and get more into the acting work. And you can see for each episode, Barry getting further and further away from wanting to be a hitman, which I really liked. You can also see him get more and more kind of messed up in the head, almost. But I think season 1, they just get you straight into it, right, bang, here's a hitman, he's been sent on this job, this is what he wants to do, and he wants to change his life around, but he can't because he's got all this stuff going on. I thought this season was the best season. I won't say by far, because it wasn't by far, all the other seasons are incredible, but this was definitely my favourite season, getting right into the show, into the nitty gritty of Barry's situation. Incredible show, bang. So there you go, only 4 seasons of Barry. I think I rated them pretty well. Once again, this is all just my opinion. You may disagree, that's fine. Oh yeah, NoHo Hank too. Incredible character, hilarious. The actor played him very well. Anyway, that's it from me. I seen Barry. I love the show. I actually finished it not even a year ago. I just haven't spoke about it yet, so I wanted to share my views on it. I think it's an incredible show. I highly recommend everyone goes and checks it out. That's it from me. Get ready for the music. Bye-bye.